Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Do you remember that era when everyone wanted to be an air hostess? Everybody was flabbergasted by the idea that you get to travel the world, earn a lot, and you get to meet a lot of people. And you also get to be in the heaven of clouds for 24/7. But like any other job, there is always another side to the story. We are always intrigued to know what it's like to be part of the show. Who knows what the actual reality is, right? Well, this got us thinking, and we wonder what shenanigans flight attendants do when they are on board. Well, if you ask me, I still cannot get over the movie Snakes on a Plane. I make sure not to wear those leis for sure. So here are some of the much hushed secrets which flight attendants prefer not to tell the passengers. Number 10. Talking in code. If you fly frequently, first of all, we envy you. Second of all, you must have heard of frequent chimes, which might have not even grabbed your attention. The common chime which you must have heard of is this, which indicates an announcement from the cabin crew or the pilot. It turns out that these chimes have another purpose too, i.e. a secret code, which is used to communicate between the cabin crew and flight deck. And it is also to make sure that they can prevent the passengers from panicking. These blips mean various things like a single blip means there is choppy air ahead. 2 blips means that the aircraft is at 10,000 feet in altitude. 3 blips means that the passengers might experience some final destination. No, I'm kidding. It means that there will be severe turbulence ahead, and it is a red signal to the cabin crew that they should be seated immediately. Number 9. Dead in the clouds. Just imagine, you are on a long flight, and it's nighttime, and when you look around, everyone is dozed off in sleep. Seems like a pretty normal scenario, right? But what if I tell you it is actually not? Although it happens rarely, it is a possibility that a passenger might decease up in the clouds due to natural death, and all of the cabin crew should be prepared for this unfortunate incident. Their main priority is to not alert the passengers in order to avoid panic. Since not all flights have special lockers or body bags, what most flight attendants do is that they shift the body to first class where there are fewer passengers. This makes it all discreet, and well, it obviously helps in not scaring the passengers. So next time you are in first class, etch this in mind, that not all might be really sleeping. Number 8. Are you really sitting in the best seat? Are you one of those people who take special time to select a seat on an airplane, or are you not bothered with it? Well, you should know that there are some who actively avoid the middle seat, and then there are those who like to avoid the number 13. Since we are talking about seats, I wonder which the safest seat on the flight is. If you guessed first class seats because of obvious reasons, then you are absolutely wrong. Because according to researchers, first class seats should be the last place to consider if there is a real emergency. It has been opined that the seats close to the wing are stronger, and the seats near to the exit will help you escape safely. Number 7. Sleeping in the sky. You might get a side-eye from your employer at work when he or she sees you yawning or dozing off, which is not much of a deal breaker. But what if you were flying a plane with passengers and you were actually dozing off? No, I am not kidding. This is what half of the pilots among 500 agreed to, that at least once a month, their flying abilities were compromised because they had lack of sleep. Also, some of the Norwegian, Swedish, and UK pilots were asked the same, and they agreed to actually falling asleep. Wait, hold on, don't panic. They slept because they could always rely on their co-pilot and autopilot. Well, I'm not sure about the co-pilot, because 1/4 of the pilots actually found upon waking that their co-pilots were dozing off. Thank you, Mom, for stopping me to become a pilot, because I would have surely dozed off. Although it is not the only place where the pilots sleep, since they are given private sleeping quarters, so that they can take a quick nap during the long-haul flights. Number 6. Not the cleanest. Guess what the dirtiest part of the plane might be. No, it's not the washroom, although it might be the second dirtiest. It is actually the tray tables. A flight attendant of JetBlue told Business Insider that people constantly lay their heads on the tray tables, rest their feet on them, and change baby diapers. She further said she would never eat off it, even if it was sanitized. Well, that makes 2 of us now, JetBlue flight attendant. There are also unsanitary incidents which occur in the lavatory or passenger seat which the passenger rarely sees. She said, "Just so you know, if you are in the lavatory and if you are barefoot, it is definitely not water on the floor. Maybe I should wear a white cleaner suit next time. What if they think I'm an astronaut and they try to ricochet me off into space? I don't want to go to space. Who knows? It might be dirtier up there." Number 5. Water? Tea started to spill when someone asked on Quora, what are the weirdest things which the flight attendants have seen while they are up in the sky? Flight attendants literally started saying that they do not drink hot water on the plane since the water lines have not been cleaned. Can you actually believe this? Even though the EPA has instituted the Aircraft Drinking Water Rule, ADWR, to ensure that safe and reliable drinking water is provided to aircraft passengers and crew, there are a couple of reliable researchers who believe there may be harmful bacteria in airline water. This is probably because the water tanks are not emptied very often. You would think they'd be emptied and cleaned at least once a day, but this is not so. So water is just sitting for long periods of time in what appear to be not so clean tanks. Another flight attendant who has 4 years of experience says that she brings her own water since the plane water is not the best. Well, I don't know about you, but I definitely want to puke. Number 4. Frozen food. Since we talked about the water quality on the plane, it is obvious that we could never leave the food behind. If you ask me, all I think about is gobbling up the best cuisines on the plane. And trust me, I am literally praying that food shouldn't bring some bad news. Well, upon our research whether food is the best on the plane or not, truth spilled that the airline food is frozen and is actually kept on the plane for 3 days. Well, you might be thinking that the flight attendants might be eating better than us, but it is actually not true. Flight attendants too eat the same food as passengers, and so much so that if there is not enough food for passengers, the staffs go on an empty stomach so that everyone else can eat. First deprived of sleep, and now deprived of food? Wow, they surely make one great sacrifice to fly the heavy bird. Don't you think so? Number 3. Flying early means less turbulence. If you get nauseous every time you fly up in the air, then it is suggested that you should fly early in the morning. This is because it has been opined that earlier flights mean less turbulence when compared to later flights. Skies are smoother in the morning, where the probability of storm happens later in the day. Airlines will not tell you this because they want to sell tickets the entire day. But if you think that you get all beat up because of turbulence issues, then flying in the morning like an early bird is for sure. Well, nauseous or not, I would surely love flying in the morning to see those mesmerizing clear skies. Number 2. No fly zone if you have a cold. Since we are talking about when you should fly and when you should not, it has been stated that one should not fly if they have a cold. The reason is not that you might make others sick on the plane. Well, of course that's the first thought since you are literally stuck in a tube for hours. But the actual reason is that there might be ear damage if you fly sick. The pressure you experience while you travel in the plane might damage your eardrums, which will result in painful ear problems. It is nothing permanent, but it can take weeks for the hearing to return and also for the pain to reduce. So next time you are planning a flight, make sure that you are all well and sound. Get it? Well and sound? Forget it. I can never compete with Liza Koshy. Number 1. Black triangles. On some airplanes, you might have noticed small black triangles when you are on board. When asked, the captain said that it is for marking the places where the wings can be seen best from. There is also a visual examination required if the pilot has any doubt with regards to the position of the flap and if the indicators are out of order. Thankfully, this only happens on rare occasions. So next time when you see some black triangles when you are on board, make sure not to freak out. So that's all we have for this video, guys. And by the way, next time when you are boarding a plane, make sure to keep this nitty-gritty in mind. Who knows, it might come in handy. I for sure will sway away from the water and would try not to gobble as much food as possible. Let us know in the comments below as to which secrets shocked you the most, and if you require a part 2 of this. Who knows what more plane secrets are there in the abode, right? Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.